All right, hello fifth graders. I am making this video to help explain the slideshow that I just added a little bit ago. If you were part of the Zoom meeting today, which is May 18th, I already kind of went through this slideshow during the Zoom and explained kind of the pictures and kind of an idea of how you could go about this. So you probably don't need to watch this if you were part of the Zoom meeting and paying attention, but if you need a little refresher, that's what this is for, or for those students who missed the Zoom meeting and need to catch up. So our assignment for this week is the laundry art challenge. So I know that all of us have different art supplies at home. Some of us might have paint, some of us only have markers, some people have Play-Doh, things like that. None of us have the same thing, so it's a little hard to all be doing the same thing unless I could find something we could make all together no matter what. So that's kind of where I came up with this laundry art challenge, because we all have laundry, whether it's shirts and socks and towels and blankets. And I'm going to show you how you could make art using laundry. So the first thing that you could do is recreate a famous painting. So the easiest way to go about this would be to just make a quick Google search, type in famous paintings. Maybe there's a certain artist that you really like, so you could type in that name and try to find a painting that you want to recreate with your laundry. So as you see with this one, someone found a painting that they really liked, and then they went and searched for different shades of blue and white to start to recreate that painting. It looks like they found a flat surface, either the ground, on a bed, on a table, on your desk, something like that, where you can arrange these items to kind of replicate the image we're looking at. So with this one, you can see all kinds of different pieces of laundry that they added, and then they even got creative and they saw these boats in the scene and decided to add a couple shoes to replicate those boats. This one, the Scream, you might have seen this painting before. So these are 3 different ways that someone recreated this painting using lots of different colors in the background for the sunset, and then using different things like socks and washcloths to make the person's head and the hands next to the ears, and then even getting creative with some hair ties and some scrunchies to make the different facial features, and especially to make that mouth look like it was open and screaming. Another one is the Mona Lisa that you've probably seen before. I thought this was a good way to show you that you could choose something a little more difficult, but you could simplify it in your own way. So this person just found maybe some black shirts to make the hair, and a kind of peachish color for the skin, some different colors for the shirt or dress that she's wearing, and then even some different color blues and greens for the background. With this one, Magritte's painting with the apple in front of his face. There's a few different examples of how students have gone about arranging their laundry to replicate that painting, even finding jackets that kind of match that one, making their own ties. Maybe you have some ties at home that you could throw in there. This first student got a little creative and even found a head of lettuce to put in there instead of the apple. Maybe you do have green apples at home and you could add one of those to it as well. And then another famous painting, The Starry Night. If you have lots of blue laundry and yellow, trying to get those in maybe some swirly patterns to kind of replicate Van Gogh's technique there. If you're not so into art history, there's definitely other options. You could recreate a picture or character, maybe from a TV show or a movie that you enjoy. So of course I had to add Baby Yoda in here because I know that is a favorite right now. So even got the little mug that he's holding. Looks like they kind of rolled up a sock to make that. I know this is a younger kids show, but I just thought this was a really good example of making all those little separate shapes. They even, made sure that the ears were triangular, and they kind of rolled up some socks for the eyes. And then it looks like they even found like this fuzzy sweatshirt that they decided to put into the sky because it kind of had a cloud texture. And then this one was actually done by a 4th grader, and he made SpongeBob even finding like almost SpongeBob's exact outfit and finding like the white button up and the red tie, the belt, and the khaki shorts. I thought that was a really good example of making a character. If you don't want to replicate a painting or a character, feel free to create your own masterpiece. You are all the artists, so there's definitely no limits to what you can make. I just want you to be creative and have fun with it. So we've got a muffin here, and it looks like, I thought this was pretty cool because this student found kind of a polka dotted shirt, I think, and added it to the top, so it almost looks like the polka dots are sprinkles. Thought this one was pretty cool with kind of a desert scene. Looks like that one is done on a little larger scale. It's got like some sheets back here and a towel. These ones are a little simpler, but just some food, even adding a little toy bunny to the carrot. Thought that was a pretty cute idea. This beach scene is actually one of my favorites because not only did they replicate the beach with laundry, but then they added some things to it to look like the beach wasn't empty. So there's a little Barbie down here that looks like they folded up some socks to make it look like it was the towel she was laying on. Found a pencil and a washcloth of some sort to make an umbrella so she's hanging out in the sun. A couple kids back here that are swimming, and even found a smaller boat to put back in the distance. I just thought that was super creative. So maybe you could find some things laying around at home that could be put into a scene. Maybe you have some cars or trucks or Lego things that you built, or different toys or stuffed animals that you could add into a scene. And I thought this flamingo was pretty cool. Maybe you can make your favorite animal. You could just make a scene of some sort. Maybe you look outside your window and see what's outside. Maybe you do like an imaginary scene. Maybe you find a castle that you really like that you want to try to replicate. Maybe you're inspired by the things that you have. So instead of, if you don't have an idea per se, maybe you should just look through your laundry and see if anything sparks some interest to you. So maybe this student who made the sheep scene found their socks first and noticed that they were kind of a fuzzy wool-like texture. And then they decided that those would make pretty good sheep. And that's kind of how their art unfolded. They started with just a piece of laundry and then slowly went around that. Maybe you look in your closet and you notice that you have a ton of yellow clothes. So you decide you want to make something yellow, and then you make the sun with the different colors of yellow and the different patterns. Maybe you notice you have lots of browns and greens, which would be perfect for a tree. And then last couple here, the student on the left getting really creative and not only using laundry, but just some other items around the house. Like it looks like they use maybe a cotton ball kind of torn apart for part of the clouds, and maybe just like a tissue or a crumpled up piece of paper for some of them, with some of them being socks as well. Grabbing some art supplies and crayons for the rays of the sun. And then even at the bottom, maybe they didn't have any small green laundry, so they got super creative and even just made some of their own trees with some markers and some scissors, and then added those to their scene. And then this last one was just a rainbow that I thought was pretty cool for those of you who might have a very colorful wardrobe. And this is just a couple more of Vincent van Gogh's to kind of go with the famous paintings, but just to show you that it doesn't have to be super complicated. It could be as simple as a vase with a few flowers in it, or it could be more complicated, and you could be trying to replicate a face like this. Even got eyebrows and eyes and nose, and then they even tried to replicate the different colors of the painting in the background, which I thought that was really cool, just depending on how much detail you want to add. So the 5th grade assignment for you is to create an artwork using laundry, whether it's shirts, pants, socks, blankets, towels, whether you're incorporating toys you have, stuffed animals, random objects around the house. I would love to see how creative you could get. I'm sure you all have just wonderful ideas, and I'm excited to see how different they are. Secondly, you have to take a photo of your art when you're finished, because it's not really something that can be turned in without a photo of it. You can take these with your Chromebook or tablet or phone, whatever device you're using. You could ask a parent or someone else to help you get a photo if you're struggling, and then to turn that photo into Google Classroom. So I added an assignment that kind of explains that I would like a short description as well, and I kind of listed a couple things that I'd like to know about, like what painting you were replicating or character that you're making, kind of how you got inspired by the idea, what kind of supplies you used, just kind of anything that you find is interesting that you want to tell me about. I'd really like there to be a description and not just the photo as well. And then you can either add the photo with like the comment as a description, or you could put both the photo and description in a Google Doc together and then just save that and add just the whole Google Doc that has both of them on there. And then lastly, just don't forget to clean up afterwards and fold the laundry up if it was clean. I'm sure if you fold your laundry or if someone else does, everyone at home would be a lot happier if you just make sure that it all gets cleaned back up and there's not just a giant laundry pile at home. So I hope that those help you with some ideas of ways that you could stay busy during this time and make some art projects, especially if you don't have a lot of art supplies at home. I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with, and please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.